Oh boy, it's that time. It is the end of the first week of the new year. Snoop's obviously excited. That's the mini horse you just heard trampling through the kitchen. So now it's time to get off my butt, get back in the gym, and more importantly, get back to eating. So we're gonna turn all of this food in this mini fridge here into an organized series of daily intake that I can use throughout the week. In other words, we're gonna cook up all my food here, break it up in individual meals, and show you exactly how I'm going to store this fridge for the week ahead of me and how I'm going to eat day to day. You'll notice I changed my attire because I don't want to dirty up the brand new Hunt Fitness that I just got in the mail, the 2012 edition of Hunt Fitness gear. Huge blessing. Hunt Fitness is doing humongous things in the industry, bigger than I even realized until you guys started leaving me feedback on how much they've helped you. So many competitors, so many athletes, so many people I know, so many NWB members are getting their diets done off Hunt Fitness. I myself am getting this last bulk stretch done off Hunt Fitness, and he'll be doing my entire contest prep. So huge shout out and sincere thank you to HuntFitness.com, doing amazing things. That's obviously also where you can get NWB. So NWB and Hunt Fitness go hand in hand. That's how we're doing it this year. So I'm going to put the brand new clothing aside so it doesn't get dirty during cooking. Stick to the old school Hunt Fitness. Since I got my own fridge this time, we're cooking it all up. Nothing has to go in the freezer. So I'm going to get the grill going with the meats. This is just the George Foreman grill. Really inexpensive, $20 at Walmart. We get the stove going so I can boil up all the brown rice. Get that done. Get the microwave going for the steamable vegetables. Get it all done really fast. Combine it. Set it away in the fridge. Eat it by the end of the week. 2012. What you look at this? All these Tupperwares for only $10 at Walmart. Again, name brand, bundle package deals, look for it all. This is just regular Walmart, not even Supercenter. All these containers, $10 total. What I'm going to do this time, instead of cooking up my food into large containers, like all the chicken in one container, all the rest in one container, I'm actually going to split it up, divvy it up if you will, into individual meals and stash it that way. So in each one of these things I'm going to put in how much chicken I'll need, how much brown rice, how much asparagus I'll need in one meal, you know? And that'll be like my meal number 2, let's say for example. I'll do the same thing with this one. That'll be my meal number 2 for the following day. Meal number 2 for the following day. You know, I'll continue to do that. This might be like meal number 3. And I'll set up a bunch of meal number 3s. All the same thing in all these Tupperwares. And I'll keep them stacked up in the same area, you know, separated and categorized. So that way every single day at whatever time I need to eat, whatever meal, I can just go right in the fridge and grab a container from the meal number, whatever meal I'm at. So that's how we're going to do it. It's going to make things go a lot easier. It's going to ensure that I can't slack on my diet. It's going to make sure I get everything in. If I'm looking smaller or if I'm looking softer right now on camera, it's because I am. I've pretty much taken these last 3 weeks, basically the holidays, from Christmas to New Year's and the week surrounding it, more or less as a vacation time. Before this week, I was hitting the gym, but I wasn't really on top of my eating. I was just kind of eating whatever. Some days it would be a lot. Some days it would be barely enough to even keep me nourished. This week, the week after New Year's, I've been so busy with everything, the new clothing line, new sponsors, business-wise, I've gotten to the gym maybe once or twice this entire week, and it's Saturday, and I've barely been eating enough to keep a guinea pig nourished, so we're going to change that around. This will help me out. See that slight discoloration on different parts of the steak, a slight browning color? That's a sign that the steak is at its maximum time of chilling in the fridge, so you either got to cook this or get rid of it. If you see a little bit of that discoloration coming, don't panic. Your steak is still fine, but that's literally like your 5-minute warning. Get it on the grill. Once you cook it, then you have a little bit more longevity. You can keep it in your fridge for a few days at a time. But red meat is always a little bit more finicky when it comes to storing it and keeping it good for a longer period of time. Chicken has a much hardier longevity, I found out. I'll keep chicken in my fridge up to a week. I've done it up to 2 weeks, and after it's cooked, and it's been fine as long as you keep it nice and airtight at a good temperature. So that's your little tip and trick for a steak cooking up. Go by smell and color when it comes to red meat. brown rice is supposed to go with steak, and 2 white potatoes are supposed to go with the chicken. But just because of meal timing, I'm gonna actually go ahead and switch that. I'd rather have the rice earlier on in the day, sits in my stomach better, and I like having the potatoes later on in the night after the gym, and they just taste a lot better with steak in my opinion. So I'm just gonna go ahead and switch the two. Still the same amount of carbs I'm getting, still similar carb sources, so it's not gonna change anything. It's my personal preference, and I'm doing 2 cups of brown rice with 1 8-ounce chicken for every first whole food meal. Steak is lined up like this. On that side, I have potatoes cooking. I'm going to put the potatoes in with the steak. And then I have some chopped up asparagus that's going to be put in with each one of these. So I'm doing it. NWB, type of NWB, gets you 20% off everything. Any whey protein. Almost finished up cooking for the week. All within a couple hours. Reviewing the new video. Part 3 of this series you're watching right now. This will be part 4. This will be the part following it. And yes, it is kind of fun cooking, preparing food, and watching myself at the same time. It's not disappearing. It's just going to go down a little bit. I'm going to see if I can extend it for you guys. But right now, honestly, 20% off. What I'm personally using is the meal replacement.
Better today because every time I heard it, there was someone there. I'm like, oh, is this better? So.
1.5 scoops of
Tara should not have
olive
radio,
oil.
though. She's alone.
I really don't care what kind of oil I use. Olive macadamia.
She won't hear anything.
It's all roughly the same amount of calories per tablespoon. It's not too huge a difference between them all. I mean, there is a huge list of differences, but the actual difference that it makes,
they feel isolated
you let me know when you notice a difference.
Like if they're in the cat room by
Then I'll
themselves,
switch.
we're off doing stuff.
For now, it's just kind of like whatever oil I see, whatever oil we have around the house.
Socialize while they were visiting town.
Same amount of
I think
calories,
they have to get used to that.
same concept.
But maybe they don't need to come twice a day either.
It'll add about
I say that
an additional 150 calories to your meal, easily.
And then,
I'm gonna slide the NWB t-shirts out of the way. Check it out. All set up. So what we have basically is I have 2 weeks worth of chicken and brown rice here. And that's about how long it'll last for it begins to go bad anyway. This refrigerator is a little bit cooler than normal. You know, if it starts to act up, go bad, I'll just rethink my strategy and, you know, maybe next time I'll only cook a week's worth ahead of time. It's not a huge deal, it's all trial and error, but it is just brown rice, it's greens, it's chicken, all airtight, so it should be fine. If I see it starting to go bad, I'll simply just double up and I'll eat that ahead of time. Extra calories, why not? Up top, we have the chicken and brown rice meals. Down here, we have the red meat, steak, and potato meals. Now, what I chose to do with the steak and potatoes is I put the steak, I put the asparagus on there, no oil, and I'm going to cook the potatoes fresh. So every time I go to get this meal out after the gym, or whenever I eat it, later on in the evening, I'm going to actually cook the potato right there in the spot so it's nice and fresh, because leftover potatoes is just horrible. Over here, everything's all ready to go. Oil's on it and everything. And pretty much how it's going to work is I only have 2 whole meals throughout the day. 4 meals total, 2 of them are liquid, meaning not just shakes though. They're liquid, but they're not just a shake. I'm going to get into that in episode 5, the next one. But my 2 whole meals, one earlier in the day, is chicken and brown rice, asparagus with some oil. Later on in the evening, steak, potato, some other greens, oil. So pretty much right here would be one day. Following day, etc., etc. So you see it's very space efficient, very conservative, very organized. Down here we have space for whatever the heck extra stuff. There's some extra meat we have left over. My girlfriend's wine cooler. Have to emphasize that's my girlfriend's because real men drink beer. And that's it. So I'll see you guys on part 5 when I break down exactly what my diet is day by day. Get my meal.